Hey folks! So, after days of thunder and lightning, metaphorically speaking of course, the India-Pakistan conflict has officially kicked off. India launched a wave of fighter jets worth billions of rupees to strike targets inside Pakistan. And according to Pakistani sources, they managed to shoot one of those jets down. This is one of the rare modern-day clashes between two nuclear-armed nations since the Cold War era, which, as you can imagine, has the whole world sweating a little. So, how did this all go down? Let's dive in. In the early hours of May 7th, 2025, India launched Operation XO, a military campaign targeting 9 sites within Pakistan, including areas in the Pakistan-administered Kashmir region. The operation was retaliation for a suspected terrorist attack in Parang, India, which killed dozens. And yes, this marked one of the most serious escalations between these two neighbors in more than 2 decades. Before the launch, Indian intelligence was working overtime, gathering info for weeks using satellites, drones, and good old human spies. They pinpointed what they claimed were terrorist training camps, weapons depots, and command centers allegedly tied to the Parang attack. Pakistan, meanwhile, wasn't caught totally off guard. Their intel apparently predicted the timing of the attack within a 24 to 36-hour window. Their defense minister accused India of using the Parang incident as a pretext to start a war. According to the Times of India, the Indian Air Force deployed Rafale and Su-30 fighter jets, equipped with precision-guided missiles. Drones provided aerial surveillance, while India's Navy sent destroyers into the Arabian Sea, standing by to launch missiles if needed. Indian special forces were also placed on high alert, though they didn't participate in the airstrikes. Pakistan responded by bolstering forces along the border and scrambling its JF-17 and F-16 fighters. At exactly 12:45 a.m., India began its airstrikes. Reports from Andaria News say 6 targets were hit in the Kashmir region controlled by Pakistan. These included Muzaffarabad, suspected terrorist training facility; Kli, an alleged weapons cache; Supara, Blimber, and Rawa, smaller command centers accused of planning the Parang attack. India used Spice 2000 missiles and laser-guided bombs launched from mid-altitude Rafale jets to avoid radar detection. Drones streamed real-time footage to adjust targets on the fly. 2 hours later, India launched a second wave of strikes on targets in 2 more provinces, including what it claimed was a terrorist HQ near a residential area. This time, they even fired missiles from a destroyer in the Arabian Sea. A witness in Marathi reported that at 12:45 a.m., a drone flew over, followed by 3 fighter jets that struck a local mosque. Pakistani media accused India of targeting civilians, stating the mosque was destroyed. 3 hours later, around 4 o'clock a.m., Pakistan struck back, sending JF-17s and F-16s into the sky to engage Indian aircraft. According to John News, Pakistan claimed it shot down a Rafale, a Su-30, and a drone. India confirmed losing 1 Rafale. The other 2 they stayed pretty quiet about. Probably because that Rafale got its picture snapped and plastered all over social media. Then, to keep the momentum going, Pakistan opened up artillery fire along the border, targeting Indian military posts. They also launched missile strikes on Indian targets in Jammu. Indian officials say their air defense systems intercepted the missiles. By 5 o'clock a.m., the action had cooled, and by 7 o'clock a.m., both sides had pulled back. India's jets returned to bases in Jammu and Punjab after completing their missions, with drones still loitering overhead to assess the damage. According to India's Ministry of Defense, all 9 targets were either destroyed or severely damaged. They reported 0 civilian casualties on their side. Pakistan, however, claimed 8 civilians were killed and 35 injured. At 10 a.m. on May 8th, India held a press conference, calling Operation XO a precision strike against terrorist infrastructure, not civilians or the Pakistani military. Prime Minister Modi declared that terrorists must pay a heavy price, and the operation was proof of India's resolve. Pakistan's Prime Minister immediately convened the National Security Council and went live on TV, calling the strike an act of war. Pakistan closed its airspace to Indian airlines and vowed to respond at a time and place of its choosing. Their defense minister condemned the attacks as a blatant violation of sovereignty. Meanwhile, the UN Secretary-General voiced deep concern and offered to help de-escalate tensions. U.S. President Donald Trump described the situation as very unfortunate and hoped both sides would stand down. Honestly, this conflict is eerily similar to the Israeli airstrikes on Iran a while back, quick, targeted, and surgical. And just like Iran, Pakistan is vowing revenge.
So yeah, things are heating up and it's far from over. Stick around. We'll be watching it unfold together. Thanks for tuning in, folks.